Some of the city's buildings were constructed back in the 1800s, and a lot are almost a century old. On February 11th, the city announced that all schools would stay closed for the rest of that week and for vacation week, so the snow could be cleared from the rooftops. What's going on? News Director Jane Regan wanted to find out.
Officials caught parents by surprise on February 11th when they said schools wouldn't open at all that week.
We had an architect come in and do an assessment of two of the buildings in the city. We looked at the high school and also Winter Hill School. We got on the roof of both buildings. We did a snow density test. They take a specific volume of snow, get its specific weight, and then you know the density of the snow. Using that information, we looked at some of the structural plans for the building, and they were able to provide us with an assessment of where we stood in relation to code on the building. We found that the high school was okay. The Winter Hill School, some of the drifts in locations actually exceeded the snow loads that would be typically seen on buildings. So the city, based on that information, prioritized getting the snow off of all the buildings, and to be safe and not risk anything, decided to close school until that work was complete.
Parts of the high school were built decades ago, but most of the schools in Somerville date from the 90s or even the 2000s. Boston and Cambridge have similarly aged schools, but their students were back in the classroom on February 11th. King said he didn't know why Somerville was the only city in the area to keep its kids home.
I don't know that I'm prepared to say why they were open. Maybe they had assessments done of their buildings. Maybe they were confident that they wouldn't have issues. I don't know that we're in a position to speculate on why they may be open. It depends on the type of construction that was used for the buildings and the codes that were in place when those buildings were built.
The city hired contractors who brought in workers from as far away as Canada. At Argenziano, shovelers were earning $25 an hour.
We got up here this morning. There was about 5 feet of snow all the way along this section here. We had everybody cleared out. They've been running tarps and clearing it out with shovels and picks, and pretty much just focusing on all the big drifts.
You see our crew dragging ass on camera.
But one of the things that we're going to be working on with the architectural firms, we're going to have a structural analysis done for all of our buildings.
The city also got a lot of attention by partnering with Above Summit, a local company that flies drones. They took a look at snow levels from above.
We're going to create a guidance document that gives our buildings and grounds crews the ability to do a visual assessment of the building. If there's a foot of snow, take this action. If there's 2 feet of snow, take this action. 3 feet of snow, take this action. Just give us a planning tool that we can use moving forward.
Almost 100 inches of snow in just 1 month. What will next month bring? And what if engineers find structural problems in the school's roofs? How will the city come up with the money to make those repairs? What about the roofs in Cambridge and Boston? We should look into all of these issues, but right now, I've got to get back to shoveling. For Somerville Neighborhood News, I'm Jane Regan.